Laura Collins. You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome to your hometown news. I'm Joe Minnie, and reading is an important skill, and learning how to read at an early age makes a huge difference in a child's development. This first segment, we have joining us via Zoom Great Rivers United Way Community Engagement Coordinator Julie Nelson, as well as Lemonweir Principal Nicki Pope. Welcome both.
Thanks for having us today.
Well, Julie,
it's nice to see everyone.
Yes, nice to see you too. Well, Julie, let's start with you. What is the United Way doing to encourage reading for young students?
The short answer is everything we can think of. Really, part of our mission, our strategic objective is to touch the youngest members of our community and to increase their academic success and the health and well-being of their families. So we have several programs. Probably the greatest example of that is Sparks. And that is geared toward the under 5 crowd. We're really trying to get the message out to parents that every moment is a learning moment. When your child is first born, you look your child in the eye and you start to talk to your kid about the environment. Hi, I'm your mommy. Oh, it's such a nice day. And bit by bit, your children will pick up vocabulary. They'll pick up stories. They'll get a bond to you. And then as they get a little bit older, it's the same kind of thing when they go to a grocery store. For example, of how many green things can we find today? Oh, look, here's the sign that says lettuce. Where do you think the lettuce is? So all these little things along the way are huge parts of brain development and really help children grow. So that's what Sparks is all about, really trying to encourage parents to take advantage of these learning moments. In Crawford County, we have the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and that gets books into the hands of kids who are, again, under 5. And we have a Read to Success program that works with kids in 3rd grade. And of course, probably the biggest thing the United Way does is that we fund a lot of other programs, a lot of other agencies that provide programming specifically for kids. So that can be the Parenting Place, it can be the Family and Children's Center, the Boys and Girls Club. Those are some examples. So as much as we possibly can, we want to help those youngest learners in our community.
Yeah, it looks like you're trying to cover all angles as you can. When I was growing up, I started reading with Dr. Seuss, and Hop on Pop was one of my favorite books starting out when my reading days. What's a favorite book for you?
Yeah, I can't really remember favorite books that I had growing up. As I got a little bit older, I can remember some mystery series that I read and talked about with my friends. But as a parent, I can remember some of those. The Foot Book, a Dr. Seuss type thing, Foot Book, was an early one that we read. Green Wilma was one that kind of led you down the path thinking the Green Wilma was a frog, and then there's a twist ending. So it was a clever play on words. So those are some of the ones that I remember from my kids. When my daughter was in 3rd grade, she was in Battle of the Books, and that really got her on a lifelong pattern of reading and changed her whole life right there. So I remember these things more as a parent than myself.
Awesome. Well, Nicki, from your perspective, what does reading do for a developing mind?
Oh, reading influences every part of our developing mind. So for our young learners, it really sparks their imagination. It helps them to start imaging what it looks like through the stories and putting themselves in the storyline or the environment. It really helps them to be creative. And as Julie touched on, it's really interesting how the vocabulary expands as our learners are exposed to more and more books. So the more that they can be read to or have print in front of them, the more it helps them be prepared for when they start having to learn to read, and then obviously reading to learn from that point on.
So has the United Way, what they're doing, their programs, have they helped the reading for the young students in your classes, in your school?
Yes, we've had the 3rd grade program for Read for Success. Now, I think this is our 2nd year, or maybe even our 3rd, where they've come in to assist our students. And so really it's a bond that they're creating with those individual students as well. So they get to share the books that they've enjoyed, similar to the conversation you just had, things that they read to their own children. Maybe it's a comic series. Really, it's finding an interest that students are interested in and then monopolizing on that. So if they're interested in a topic, really giving them the materials in front of them to be able to read more on that.
So, well, Nicki, what can we do as a community to further the practice of reading? Or maybe even Julie can weigh in on this.
Really, I think just keep encouraging it. If you can encourage, parents, I know we've partnered in the past with the hospitals or even newborns that are born to be able to give parents books in their hands to help them. Understanding that even as infants, to read to them is important. It helps them to be able to look at facial expressions and start to learn empathy at a very young age and put themselves in the storyline. So I think just encouraging it as much as possible is a great start for the community. So
are there studies out there that show how introducing reading early in a child's developing age, is there like data on how well it does that?
Oh, absolutely. I think the biggest focus is vocabulary. The more that students are exposed to different vocabulary, the more successful they can be. But even learning how, a good reader, to watch a good reader. So using that expression, being able to have a good pace, so their fluency rate, and that's appropriate. Making sure that they're making connections and understanding, even as simple as tracking. So how to hold a book, how to turn it from page to page, how you actually follow the sentence. So even once your children are reading on their own, it's still very important to read to them because they pull in all of those other pieces from people that have read for a long time and only become stronger readers.
So does it matter what types of books the kids are reading, or is it like tech books, graphic books, or fictional stories, or what other type of books? Sure. Are there any specifics?
It's really important that you have a wide variety of genres and non-fiction and fictional books and informational texts. Comics was even a huge one, graphic novels that we threw in that were important. So to get a good variety of different literature for them to read is very important. So we try really hard to have a balanced literacy approach so our students are exposed to a variety of different types of reading.
You mentioned that showing kids how to read and doing like reading to the kids. How beneficial is that to start that at the earliest age?
Oh, it's incredibly beneficial. The more that they have those skills coming into even our 4K setting, the farther they're ahead, even to be able to learn to start to read. Even being able to identify that these are what words look like, and this is what alphabet looks like. Being able to put together how to hold a book and what illustrations are, and all of those are very important skills to get them started even for our earliest learners.
Well, Julie, what do you think of the program that you're introducing to the schools? How are they benefiting from what you guys are doing?
Yeah, the Read to Success program is a huge part of what we do, and we've got to have a long history of partnering with schools. So this is a program where we get community volunteers to come in and work with the third graders on their reading skills. And sometimes it'll be the third grade will read a page and then the volunteer will read a page. Sometimes the kid will read the entire book and the volunteer listens or asks questions, says, what do you think is going to happen next? If you were this character, what would you do? And as Nicki said, too, it's also about building some relationships and getting to know the kids. So we're in several different school districts doing that. We're trying to expand as much as we can. And as long as I have the opportunity, I'll say that we can always use volunteers, especially in Tomah. So we've got schools that we'd love to have volunteers. And if you can spend half an hour a week reading with a third grader, we'd love to have you aboard. You can contact me or contact Nicki and we'll get it figured out.
So volunteers to help read is like something that anybody can do anytime they want to, correct?
Well, it needs to be during the school day, and the schools aren't completely flexible. They have other things to teach too. But one of the reasons that we target third grade is up until third grade, you learn to read. And then after third grade, you read to learn. So in other words, to learn social studies, you have to learn how to read first. So we want to make sure that by the time every kid gets through the end of third grade, they really know how to read so that they can continue their education and use reading as a learning tool for everything else.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to continue our conversation after the commercial break, and we're going to learn about a program bringing books to young students in our area. But first, we want to thank our program sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Your hometown news is brought to you by Oakdale Credit Union, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, The Fun Company Game Room Store, and the Little Cottage Home Decor and more in New Lisbon.
We love being active and living life to the fullest, but life can sometimes have other plans. Do you suffer from neck and lower back pain, muscle aches, and poor mobility? Trust Olson Chiropractic to find you the right treatments that fit your needs, including the benefits of an alkaline lifestyle and healthy nutrition to help guide you to a better, more active life. Call Olson Chiropractic today, trusted in Tomah for over 20 years.
What's the more in the Little Cottage Home Decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the Little Cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and more, New Lisbon.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
At Tomah Health, our rehabilitation team specializes in physical therapy for injuries, chronic pain, post-surgery, and sports injuries.
Here at Tomah Health, I provide quality care with patients by taking time to spend one-on-one.
Tomah Health offers the latest technology and aquatic therapy to improve patient outcomes and ensure a better quality of life.
Our rehab services department truly cares about treating people as a whole and getting them to be the best version of themselves.
Tomah Health offers personalized rehab therapy close to home.
Relax at Marco's Italian and American Grill in Warrens, Wisconsin.
You're watching Lynxx 24.
Connecting you to the community.
Well, welcome back to the program. We have been talking with Julie Nelson from Great Rivers United Way about early childhood reading. Now, Julie, there's some good news. I heard that the Bucks for Books fundraiser is fully funded, but donating to Great Rivers United Way at any time of the year can still be done. How can our viewers do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Bucks for Books campaign that we just wrapped up is a plan to get books into the hands of all 4K students in the areas that participate with our Read to Success program at the end of the school year. The books were only $3 a piece. The teachers will be ordering them through Scholastic, and we raised $2,700 in just a few days, far exceeding our expectations. So we're very excited about that. We love the opportunity to get books into the hands of kids, and that is a thrill. So, I mean, yes, the needs for United Way and spending on kids under 4 or under 5 continues all year round. One great example is the Dolly Parton Imagination Library that takes place in Crawford County. So if someone were interested in funding paying for books for one child for 1 year, that would be $25. So that's a very specific thing. Other than that, we fund other programs that go on that help out young people through the Parenting Place, Family and Children's Center, the Boys and Girls Club, even our Read to Success program. That takes some money to operate too. So anytime you want to give a gift to United Way, we will make use of it and, can easily put it toward the needs of childhood and childhood education.
And from what I understand, you were sourcing these books from the Scholastic Book Company. What kind are there? There's like popular titles still that are available to read, correct?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them, and we're really leaving the ordering into the hands of the schools. They're the experts in this. We don't know the best titles for kids at this age. They work with Scholastic a lot. They know how to get really good deals and the kind of books that kids want to read. So we are leaving it up to the educators themselves to place those orders.
So what other kinds of programs are you offering at the Great Rivers United Way that fosters reading to young students?
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and I think that is such a great example. And Crawford County, like so many areas, is low income, and this gives an opportunity to put a book into the hands of kids. So they own a book. Every month until they reach their 5th birthday, a book is mailed to them. And it's very exciting. What we really hope, too, is that parents will get into this excitement and will read to their kids, read with their kids, because that's really the key in getting learning and brain development and understanding of language. And, you know, as Nicki was talking about, some of the inflections. So that's the big key. While it is great that the kids have the book, the big key is if you can read with them. So that's a huge program that we're doing. We talked a little bit about Read to Success. That's another one where we get the community volunteers to come and work with 3rd graders on their reading skills. So those are ones that we are currently doing. And if people have other ideas, we're always trying to be that community connector, look for things that are out there that we haven't thought of yet, and try and bring early literacy, health to young kids to our communities.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a big team between the community and those at home. So what else is the Great Rivers United Way up to this year coming up?
We've been working on our Compass report. So that is a really community-based thing that is used as a source of information for all sorts of folks. But what we do is we ask, you know, how much is the need for hunger? How bad is the drug addiction problem in our area? Where are the areas where resources are needed? And then as people write grants, they have a lot of statistics to back it up. So, well, this % of our population lives below the poverty level. This is why we're applying for a grant for this type of thing. So the Compass report will be coming out soon, and that's a big part of what we do. We have the Great Rivers Hub. This is a team of community health workers that are really trying to reach underserved populations, people that often don't have access to medical care. Perhaps they don't trust medical care. They're working 2 jobs and trying to juggle childcare, and they're just too busy to get the medical care that they need. So that's been huge, and especially during the pandemic, to really reach out to people and provide them with good information and access to what they need has been a huge program.
Do you expect a change in the statistics with this Compass report after this post-pandemic has affected the area?
Yeah, a lot of agencies have really been struggling. The needs have been up just dramatically. Hunger is the most visible example of that. Of the number of people seeking help from a food bank of some sort has skyrocketed. Homelessness, another example. There just hasn't been good solutions as we try and keep people safe and not crammed into one place. We don't have enough places to keep people. So I'm sure those statistics will be going up.
So with all those programs, you probably need funding. So what's the best way for our viewers to help contribute to your funding?
We have a website. It's greatriversunitedway.org, or you could just tap in gruw.org, and that would take you to our website. And of course, there are places where you can click to donate. And, you know, it doesn't take much. $2 a week will make a huge difference to someone else.
Well, I want to thank you, Julie, so much for joining us this evening. And we look forward to hearing more about the United Way coming up. Well, things are opening back up, and we have Tomah's Museum Director to talk about future events and what's new at the museum. Stay tuned.
This hot tub is
all right,
so
you're welcome.
relaxing.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll be posting this on Facebook and
just
here.
melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
We love being active and living life to the fullest, but life can sometimes have other plans. Do you suffer from neck and lower back pain, muscle aches, and poor mobility? Trust Olson Chiropractic to find you the right treatments that fit your needs, including the benefits of an alkaline lifestyle and healthy nutrition to help guide you to a better, more active life. Call Olson Chiropractic today, trusted in Tomah for over 20 years.
What's the more in the little cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the little cottage. Discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and More, New Lisbon.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
At Tomah Health, our skilled orthopedics team specializes in adult reconstruction, sports medicine, fracture care, and hand surgery.
The collaboration between the two hospital systems has really allowed us to provide efficient quality care in the community.
Tomah Health offers the latest technology and aquatic therapy to improve patient outcomes.
The Tomah Orthopedic Department works very closely with Tomah Health in rehabilitating our patients. Tomah Health offers expert orthopedic care close to home.
To learn more, visit tomahhealth.org.
Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
Hi, I'm Josh Tully from The Josh Tully Show. You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Well, Tomah has a rich history, and we have one of the people preserving that history at the Tomah Museum and History Room. Please welcome Executive Director Jim Weinzatl.
Well, thank you for the opportunity
Welcome.
to be here.
So word on the street is the museum is going to be opening up. Is that right?
That is correct. You know, last year we were closed for most of the year because of the epidemic, and the year before that we had moved from our downtown museum, and it was basically, we weren't open that much because it took a while to get things set up and to make it into a museum. So we're really excited about this now.
So this is more like really a grand opening.
It's kind of like it's not really our grand opening, but it's our, yes. It's
like
kind
a
of like
grand reopening.
Exactly. And May 1st is the date, and it's a big day for us because there's so many things going to be going on. Not only are we opening the museum for the year, but we'll also be opening the Little Red Schoolhouse down in Gillette Park. That also opens on May 1st. And on May 1st, we're going to be having a garage sale and a brat sale on our parking lot down at the museum. And I can give you the hours of everything. The museum opens in the afternoons. It'll be starting on May 1st, Saturday. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock every day. And the Little Red Schoolhouse is open twice a week during the same time that the farmers market is going on.
Okay, so what, is that Wednesdays and Saturdays?
That's correct. Okay. And since May 1st is a Saturday, it'll be open that day in the morning from 9 to noon. And then the following Wednesday, on the 5th, it'll be open in the afternoon.
Okay, so is it just for the Saturday, it'll be in the morning?
Yes.
And then on the Wednesdays, it'll be the afternoon?
Right.
Okay.
Goes along with the farmers market.
Cool.
And so the garage sale starts at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And the brat sale starts at 10. And
it takes 2 hours to get them cooking.
Yeah. And it'll last until they're all gone. And they're going to be Johnsonville brats, and everybody loves Johnsonville.
So what are you excited most about the museum reopening up again? It's like, what's inside that you think the folks are going to appreciate?
Oh, there's several new things. We've got a lot of new displays that people have not seen before. We have, just to give you a few examples, we have a display of the Knights of Pythias ceremonial gowns. Now, what is the Knights of Pythias?
Yeah, that was my first question.
Yeah, it's a fraternal organization that started in Tomah in 1885. And if you know where Shriner's studio was, that building was called the Knights of Pythias Hall.
Okay.
And they were a group that was very active in Tomah from the 1800s up till about the 1950s. And we have all their ceremonial gowns, which is very elaborate. A lot of it's embroidered, and they had swords and all kinds of things. We have some of that on display.
Was it like a secret society?
It was a secret society.
Oh, okay.
We also, talking about secret societies, we also have two mannequins that are dressed up in gowns, or I should say uniforms, of the Knights of Columbus and of the Masons.
Oh.
These are now obsolete. The Knights of Columbus have changed their uniform. It's got the hats and the plumes and the swords and everything. So that they're on mannequins, and it would be something to see.
See, earlier days, the Knights of Columbus, they were wearing armor, right?
Oh, yeah. Many years ago.
But there's also there's a gasoline alley exhibit, correct?
There is, and that's the main focus of our museum is Gasoline Alley. And I should tell you a little bit about Frank King. He is being featured in Chicago.
Okay.
There's the city of Chicago is going to honor the cartoonists, because Chicago thinks that they are where the comics came to life. And a lot of the big comics were started in Chicago through the Chicago Tribune. And Frank King is going to be a part, about 1/3 of this display they're going to be having down there. And they've got things from collections across the United States, including items that they've asked from us to be shipped down to them on loan.
Okay.
So if you're ever in Chicago between June and September, make sure you stop by down there and check it out.
Is that the Chicago Museum of Art?
It is, I tell you.
Because they usually have some traveling exhibits.
It is be a free public venue located in the landmark former public library across from Millennium Park.
Okay.
Do you know where that's at?
I think I do. I think that's where the bean is.
Okay.
A big chrome cloud bean, whatever. It looks like a kidney bean upside down.
Okay. So that's big. And then we've also got some educational things going on. On the 22nd of May, we're going to be featuring the 101st Wisconsin Infantry and the CCC.
Okay.
The CCC was started during the Depression to give jobs to people in Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal.
Part of that New Deal, yeah.
Yeah, and so he asked the 101st Wisconsin Infantry to get it organized and started, and they ran it, which I did not know, but they had uniforms, surplus Army uniforms, and they did a lot of training and things like that, and organization and billeting and that kind of thing.
Okay. So we only have a little bit time left. So other than this museum opening on May 1st, what's going to be coming up for the museum the rest of this summer?
Well, that's one program. There's also another program that I've got, a trip to the swamp.
Which swamp?
Above Mather.
Oh.
You know, there's a big swamp up there, and did you know that there were several towns up there that are no longer there? They were logging towns.
Oh.
In fact, a couple of them had post office boxes. We're going to be going up there and looking at the trails and where the railroads were, because they had to run everything out of there by rail. And so.
Okay, well, we're running out of time. So go see the Tomah Museum, and we want to thank you for watching our Hometown News. We are connecting you to the community. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.